Are you afraid of women? Same here. The full master Musume only strengthens my conviction that female humans are dangerous, bloodthirsty creatures. This anime takes it to the next level and actually portrays girls as humanoid monsters. Now I can show everyone what I fear in life. The main character ain't doing that great either. He's in constant pain while being abused by his hybrid girlfriend. I get that. This physical abuse is meant to represent the emotional and psychological stress a woman inflicts upon the average man, and I sort of agree with the message. This show shows the ugly side of the harem genre, if there ever could be such a thing. But hey, I still get to see both with nipples, so it was pleasurable in the end, despite how the lower body of nearly all the women are not attractive.
Kept you waiting, huh? Kill me.
Looks like age hasn't slowed you down one bit. That was fun.
Harpy, Slime, and the headless goth girl are the only ones that I could consider to make love to. Not necessarily because they are the most beautiful, simply because they have the proper female legs to play with. That being said, when it comes to titties and personality, I very much enjoy the mermaid and the main snake chick. Also, the spider girl is surprisingly hot, despite her weird, awkward looking behind.
Aren't you kinky? Only a real degenerate would be aroused by my spider legs. Oh my.
At first she seemed like an obvious no, but once we get to see her personality unfold in front of the main character, I just couldn't hold myself from enjoying her dominatrix tendencies.
You actually stayed in one place. There's a good boy.
Arnea might be my favorite from all the other animals, if not for her disproportionate lower half. There is a spider body, which reminds me too much of the one from The Lord of the Rings in Return of the King. Yeah, I watched the movie as a child, and I hated every scene with Frodo having to fight that monster. If only Arnea had a fully humanoid body with two weird legs and a nice ass, I would easily add her to my enormous waifu list.
Look at you. You're such a horny boy. Let me guess, you're a virgin, right?
What? That's crazy. Whatever gave you that idea?
But as I'm taking her whole figure into consideration, I gotta give her a pass. It's a shame, because most females are a lot of fun to have around. We get some pretty amazing edgy moments, and a lot of nudity, which is great. Definitely a positive for any anime if you ask me. The fan service is done well, and it's kind of sad for me to not be able to fap to most of these ladies. Guys, the lower half of a woman is just as important as the other one. I can't enjoy myself if I don't know where the protagonist is gonna put it. When Centaurea came on the screen, I felt like dropping the anime. This is one of the reasons I waited so long to make this video. It's because I just couldn't get into thinking of mythical creatures as potential girlfriends. I can get behind the snake woman, but a centaur? Thanks. I still have a bit of standards, so no. I see what they are trying to do with Centaurea though. I mean, she's the saber lookalike knight, the righteous, strong, blonde woman with blue eyes and a sword. Yeah, basically Saber from the Fate Stay Night series. The master identity is mostly used for comedy to create unique and naughty scenarios, but again, we could have done this in a much better way by keeping the females intact and only adding some small accessories.
Darling, it's gorgeous for me.
To their aesthetic whenever they are in monster form. This is why I really enjoyed Rosario Vampire. The girls there are technically monsters and witches, but they look and act like beautiful, attractive teenage horny girls, so it is only natural for me to give it a fap. Here, however, I always have to question myself if I truly enjoy what I see, or if I should just rather just watch something else. That being said, Monster Musume works better than most when it comes to the harem concept. Considering these are technically another species, it's more understandable for them to act like horny nymphs towards the main character. It's about animal instincts and territory disputes, which can apply to any other harem out there, but it works best here given the unusual circumstances. Apparently we're in the world where modern day society has accepted the existence of mythical creatures, is now confronted with the possibility of living alongside these strange entities. In this condition, the Interspecies Cultural Exchange Act was passed, and all mythical creatures have become part of human society, living in ordinary families, like foreign exchange students. This is where the erotic fantasy part starts. The protagonist of the story is a guy in his early 20s who just so happens to live alone in a big modern house, and it also just so happens for him to be the host family for a beautiful Lima female.
You brought Mia here by mistake, remember?
I don't recall that.
Kimihito Kuruso is the name of the main character. He's just the typical average-looking shonen protagonist. Here, however, he's a bit older than most, and he seems to be quite effective in maintaining a household. He cooks and handles the chores pretty well for a guy. My house, in comparison, is a complete mess right now. So yeah, I guess I can respect his diligence and discipline. As I specified before, he gets to share his room with an attractive snake woman, and even the anime itself starts with him struggling for air as he is desperately trying to break free from her tail. I think it's kinda beautiful and symbolic how the dude is nearly struggled to death by a woman. It shows the abuse we brothers have to endure for just a little juice. The snake woman is called Mia. It seems like she is gonna be the main girl from the harem. She has all the qualities for it, not to mention Mia is the first one to sleep with Kimihito. Therefore first come, first served. Rules of nature. They apply to humans as well.
Whoever has resided with the host the longest has ultimate authority, so you better listen to everything I say.
This is a strong first episode. It shows us both the benefits and the hardships of dating a monster woman. Well, I guess the willing and kind personality of Mia would be enough for most men to ignore her as hell and make her their wife. For me, however, I wait for something a bit more humanoid in nature. We also get introduced to the rules of this universe. Apparently no violence is allowed to happen between species, and also no deflowering is permitted as well.
I'm not gonna hurt her, you know.
You're not allowed to deflower her either.
What do you mean?
Too bad for our protagonist, because Mia is definitely willing to let him take her virginity away. All these rules are being explained by Miss Smith. She's one of the coordinators of the exchange program, and a rather close friend of Kimihito. I like her character. She's a mature woman around, who's in her 30s and is more experienced when it comes to relationship between different species. Miss Smith is a caricature of a civil servant, and she's often portrayed as a lazy woman, neglecting her job and responsibilities. I like her personality a lot. If I were the main character, I would choose to marry her instead. She definitely has a healthy, virtuous body, and a stable job, not to mention she's a human. So all her body is completely available for licking and other stuff I would like to do. Well, what can I say? I'm into mature dominant women. Speaking of which, it's a shame that Rachnea is a spider, otherwise she would be perfect. She's into bondage and other kinky stuff. Plus, I like her seductive voice and forward personality. Anyway, Miss Smith is the one I choose in the end. We also get introduced to a special team of monster girls who specializes in apprehending criminals of other species origin. Since no harm is allowed to come between species, a team had to be assembled. It just so happens that Miss Smith is the one in charge of it, and called her special op groups, the Moon, aka Monster Ops Neutralization. The ending song of the anime is dedicated to this team alone. I have to say I really like their design. Zombina has to be my favorite from the group. She's the field leader of Moon. She's also dead, but has become zombified in an undisclosed way. I love how daring and energetic she is. Also, Zombina likes to tease the main character whenever she has a chance.
You don't seem grossed out. Well, most guys can't handle all the gore.
There are other interesting girls in the Moon Demon Company. In the Monster Ops Neutralization team. Doppel is pretty interesting. She can take the form of any other human or monster, which definitely comes in handy. The anime is otherwise filled with small events which lead to quick and thematic resolutions. For example, we get another reptile joining the fun. At first we get the impression we are dealing with a male, as he's trying to kidnap and seduce Mia, but then it is revealed that he was in fact a female dragon. The whole episode seem kinda pointless, as she does not join the harem, but still, it's always nice to see some titties. And on that high note, I give Master Musume a 7.9 out of 10. I like the anime, but I sadly couldn't enjoy all ecchi scenes despite how well they fit within the story.